All right, well, it's that time again for a little bit of Astroneer news. This is One Last Midnight. And I know this news is a little bit old. It's like a month old. But Astroneer came out with an update, the Aeolus Unlock update, which allows you to play Aeolus on their Glitchwalkers DLC without having to go through the storyline. Hooray! That was a long time coming, and really it probably should have been there from day one. But let's go over what they gave. So they allowed you to do custom game support, which means you could start the game in a custom mode and do several things. You can bypass the storyline. You have the ability to be able to turn off the storms and turn off the firewalls. That's the blocking between the cave layers. And you have a way to start with the virus protection for the storms if you didn't turn the storms off. And then you could start at any one of the biome locations. You can choose and it'll randomly drop you in. And then you can also like modify the planet and modify, what you have on your backpack and all of that good stuff, right? So all that custom game goodness is in the DLC, or is available for the DLC now. So that was released a month ago. The other thing was they did the dedicated servers. They allowed for the Glitchwalkers DLC to be played on dedicated servers. And there's a new Aeolus Astropedia page that tells you information about Aeolus. The only thing I really didn't care for the update is that every time you start a new game, you get this little dialogue that pops up and kind of interrupts your landing sequence. I wish they would have gave a checkbox to shut that off. There was also a bunch of other miscellaneous updates that they did, which was they allowed you to toggle the storms on and off in the base game, because now the base game has some storms as well, mainly for you to be able to collect some stuff to be able to get into Glitchwalkers, but you can turn them off so you don't have to see them anymore. They've added a bunch of new cosmetics, and they have their 1.0 birthday, which is 6 years now. And I don't know at the time of watching this video if you can still get it or not, but if you go into the outfitters section, you might be able to get the birthday hat. And then they fixed all kinds of different bugs and stuff like that. There was an interesting block at the end of this that talked about, Joe was given a thanks, and there's something that kind of stood out here at the end. And that is, we look forward to building bigger bases and exploring new spaces in 2025. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that means. So a little speculation here. Building bigger bases. I'm wondering if they're doing like modular basing, or they're going to give us some sort of modular basing. I don't know. I'm really curious to see what that turns out to be. And the exploring new spaces in 2025, does that mean that they might be expanding the Aeolus planetary system, or is it, a new kind of like DLC experience? I don't think they'll go down the DLC route that they did last time, which was have a completely separate thing. I don't know. I like I said, it's just a very interesting sentence at the end of the release notes for this particular update. In other news, for System Era, they are actually changing their branding. So there was a message that came out from Adam, who is one of the co-founders, and he's also the creative director at System Era. Those are his titles. And they're talking about they no longer want to be thought as the company that made Astroneer, that they're trying to branch out. They're changing their logo, and they want to be known more of, we're passionate creators that make great games. So that's kind of interesting. I'm looking at this rebranding like they have something coming down the pipe. That's what I'm thinking. That there's something new coming out from System Era sometime. I don't know when. Probably this year, maybe not. But it just seems to me that they're kind of shifting to the mindset of, okay, we're going to have more than one product, and how do we facilitate that under our current company brand, because our current company brand has been Astroneer all along. Our name, System Era, has been related to our product Astroneer. And how do we change that mindset so that now we're makers of other video games? And I think that only leads to saying that, hey, look, we've got something coming out. So at any rate, I'm really interested to see what's coming down the pipe for Astroneer. and what's coming down the pipe for System Era as a company in general, to see if they have a new title. And if they do have a new title, of course, we're going to explore it. We're going to check it out and see what it's all about. So anyways, that's the news. It's old. It's late. I'm sorry. Well, the branding isn't old. That was as of a couple days ago. But the update's a little bit old. Sorry for getting it out to you late. I've been sucked into other games. And yeah, but we're getting back towards Astroneer again. And I'm trying to figure out how to do a bunch more Astroneer content. If you guys have any suggestions on content that you would like to see for Astroneer, let me know, because I've kind of run the gambit. My helpful guides are a little bit old. I probably could redo all of those helpful guides as of 2025 so that they're newer and they're fresher. But if there's something else that you would like to see, let me know. At any rate, I want to thank you guys for being here. I want to, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Would love to have you in part of the community. Hit that like button because it does help the algorithm. And also hit the notification bell. That way you know when I go live and when I post new videos. I'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.